So, you've either just stopped drinking or you're thinking of embarking on a journey of being a non-drinker. What activities can you do to replace alcohol? Well, that's exactly what we're covering in this video today. We're talking about 6 activities to help you on your journey to that great life when you are alcohol-free. Hey guys, Leon Sylvester here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I run a company called SoberClear where we work with entrepreneurs and professionals helping them to stop drinking without AA, without willpower, without rehabs. Now, if you want to get access to a brand new training that I've just made talking about how to apply first principles thinking to get in 100% control of your drinking, then make sure to click the link in the description. It's a totally free training where you'll learn about how to apply the first principles mental model to start living your great life when you are in control. So guys, just before we get into the video, I want to mention one thing. Now, what I usually say to people is you should not be looking for a replacement for alcohol. Let me just explain that. So in my company, SoberClear, we help people go through this reframing process. We use this first principles mental model where we get them into a state of mind where not drinking is a choice. So just by trying to replace alcohol would actually signify to yourself that you've really given something up. So if you're trying to kind of say like, okay, at 6 p.m., this is when I'd usually drink. So at 6 p.m., instead of drinking alcohol, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. We really don't recommend that. What we recommend is you get into a state of mind where you see alcohol for what it is. You totally reframe the way that you view it and you put it behind you and you move on with your life. So when I say replacing alcohol, I don't actually mean it because I don't believe in making a replacement for something, because when it comes to stopping drinking, there's never really anything to give up, right? We've bought into this illusion that the people that drink alcohol are doing the normal thing. They're the normal people. And the ones that don't are somehow abnormal, right? I don't buy into that. So I don't have to replace anything because there's nothing to replace, right? I hope this is making sense to you. I mean, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you probably get what I'm saying right now, but once you've kind of reframed the way you view alcohol and you see it for what it is without the labels, without the ridiculousnesses and the illusion of seeing alcohol as a good thing, then you no longer need to replace it. Now, that being said, I'm not saying that the stuff that we'll talk about in this video isn't important. There are definitely things that you could do to go towards a better life, and that's kind of what we're going to be covering. And there are activities that you can do to just help you on your journey of being a non-drinker. But I don't like the term replacement. I know it's the title of the video, but I just kind of wanted to have that precursor. Now, very quickly, one more thing. Make sure to stay tuned to the end, because the last point that I'm going to make is really going to help you with that reframing process and really hit home for a lot of you viewers of the channel. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end. Now let's jump into it. So the very first activity that I would recommend that you do, right? This is going to sound a little bit strange. I would recommend that you actually go on more dates. Now, once you've reframed the way that you view alcohol, if you have a partner that drinks, if you have a partner that has a few glasses of wine, if you're in the state of mind where you see alcohol for what it is, you should take your partner for a date and not worry if they order alcohol, not worry if they want to go to a bar, or not worry if they want to go to a restaurant. I really recommend going on more dates. Now, if you don't have a partner, that's totally okay. You may want to go on a date with your children. You might want to take your daughter or your son for a date and go on mummy and son, or daddy and daughter date, or whatever it is. Take them for a date instead. What I'm saying is go and do something with somebody else that is your time to spend with that person. It's one-on-one time that you're going out with somebody. Call it a date, call it whatever you like, call it hanging out. I like the word date. Date is cool. But what I'm saying is go out. Enjoy yourself. Get into some activities with other people. Go and get that one-on-one time where you're building a good connection with somebody and really just having fun. Now, for some of you guys, you may be single. So I'm literally saying that when you've stopped drinking, go out dating again. The trick is you don't wait around. You immediately go towards a better quality of life. You don't sit around and in 6 months' time, if you're then feeling like, oh, maybe I'll be ready in 6 months. Maybe if I don't drink for 6 months, maybe then I can go and date. I just say do it from day one. And that can mean two different things for two different people. For some people, that's going to be going dating your spouse, going dating your children, going dating with your friends. For other people, that means that you're going to go and date new people. You're going to go and find new relationships, build new relationships with people. Either way, I say that immediately when you're not drinking, just go and put yourself out there. And don't worry if alcohol is involved in those occasions, because if you've reframed the way you view alcohol, you see it for what it is, that's totally okay. Like, I go to bars all the time. I go to restaurants all the time, right? I lived in Bangkok. Imagine Bangkok, right? Bangkok was everybody was drinking, right? And I went to bars every single night. I was playing pool, hanging out with one of my best friends. We were just having fun. We were having a ball of a time. I didn't even notice the alcohol. It didn't even go into my head once. But the point of the matter is, go out on some dates. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and get that quality time with friends, with family, with your spouse, with whoever it may be. Now, the next activity that you can do once you're a non-drinker. It's mindset related work and goal setting work. So what I always recommend when people become a non-drinker is they immediately create a vision, right? So you want to really sit down and start putting it down on paper and really start to just create that space and create that time for you to define what it is that you want. What do you want to achieve next? This is critical. This is everything. If you don't have a vision, there is no point. I'm so sorry to say this, and I know it's probably offensive to some people, but if you want to sit around and watch Netflix and be a non-drinker and just sit around your home and do nothing, no offense, but what is the point, right? We should be wanting to get rid of alcohol because we want more from our life. That's the whole point. Alcohol is slowing us down, it's holding us back, it's stopping us from reaching a potential that we really want. So if you don't do this point, if you don't do the mindset stuff and you don't define what you want, hey man, like no offense, but what's the point? Don't watch this channel, right? You should want more for your life. That's the whole point of stopping drinking, is so you can propel yourself, get your health back to where it should be, get your relationship back to where it should be, travel more, do these great things that you really want to do. That should be what it should be all about. So what I would say is an activity is to really designate some time to thinking about what you want. I've got one lady in the Sober Clear program called Joey. And Joey I'm going to share this because this is really, really cool for mindset stuff. And she's got a room in her house and it's her beach room. And she's got things that she really likes around there about the beach. She loves the beach and that's her thing. And that's where she goes and she sits down and she has that quiet time, 30 minutes of a day, she'll do some meditation. She just bought these goal setting journals and she's excited about the future now. It's a totally different way to do things. Rather than kind of like having to drag yourself through life and really struggle to be a non-drinker. Instead, you change your mindset around alcohol and just go forward. Just put that part of you behind of you. And like Joey's example is a really good example where she has that space. She actually has a special place in her home where she can go and set those goals and do that mindset work and really get crystal clear on what it is that she wants next. That is a game changer. That changed the game for me in every way possible, because when I first stopped drinking, I was working in a gym and I had this vision to go and move to Thailand, to work on the internet, to start my own business, to do all of this stuff. I did not know I would be doing Sober Clear, but I just had the vision, right? I had the vision and I just kind of put one foot in front of the other, and slowly but surely everything's kind of materialized. And now I've got this new vision. I've got a big vision for Sober Clear. I want Sober Clear to be the biggest in the space. I just think it's going to be awesome. It's changing lives. You guys that are watching the channel, let me know what your thoughts are so far, by the way. Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, mind setting, goal set work, create that space, get a compelling vision, really define what it is that you want. And then you can even boil it down to individual goals where you could set, say a goal might be for you to start your own business. So a goal may be to invest in a course, invest in a coach, do something like that. Maybe the first part would be to, find a market, find a people, you could break it down into more granular things. I'm not going to go into that into this video, but the point of the matter is you create that time, you create that space to really start visualizing, really start creating a dream for what you want. Now, the next thing, right? This is going to sound, again, counterintuitive, but it's to really visit beautiful restaurants. Now, I know some of you guys that are watching this are already in the Sober Clear program and you're probably crushing it. So when I'm saying this, you guys will understand this. For those of you that aren't in the program, let me just explain this. So when you go to restaurants, alcohol is probably going to be served. It's going to be served on the table next to you. There's going to be a bar with lots of things like, selling drinks. Now, the people in the Sober Clear program have gone through that reframing process. We've used the mental model, we've used the first principles thinking, and everything's kind of clicked. So I've just had a new guy that's joined the program called Ray. And Ray goes to lots of social events. He plays golf, and he recently went to play golf. And I know it's not a restaurant, right? But the point of the story is still relevant. So he went to play golf, and he plays golf, and all of the guys order pints. And they go at lunchtime, and they all drink. And he went there, and he's just kind of finished the program now. He's just kind of getting into it. He's just gone through the first principles mental model. And he went there and he was just like, I don't want to drink. I'm just like, I just don't want to. And it's this bizarre new way that he sees the world, where it's like, I was seeing those guys and I just didn't even want to get involved. So what I recommend people in the Sober Clear program to do is to go to places that serve alcohol. Prove to yourself that you've reframed the way you view alcohol and it's done. You're in 100% control now. So I really do recommend that people do that. Now, that's going to be a little bit different if you've not gone through the Sober Clear program, or if you've not watched some of my previous YouTube videos and you're not into that state of mind yet. But I really do recommend not to try and avoid alcohol. This is the point of the story is don't pussyfoot around and try to avoid it and avoid certain places. Nah, what's the point, right? There's just no point. You want to be able to be comfortable in those situations. If you're going to a sporting event and there's alcohol being served, you want to be fully comfortable with what's going on. So I think that actually putting yourself in those situations is a great way to prove to yourself that you're on the right track. You've done it, you've beaten it, it's done. Now guys, point 4. Now this is a big one, and it comes down to relaxation and stress relief. Now I know I've got a lot of stories today, but there's another lady in the program and she was talking about stress relief, and her idea was that she drank alcohol because it helped to relieve stress. Now we know that that's not true. We know that alcohol doesn't help relieve stress, it causes the stress in the first place because of the craving and all of that stuff. And what she wanted to do was she wanted to create space for just her relaxation time, right? Where this was her time, where from 5 p.m. to 6:30, something like that, that was going to be her opportunity to genuinely relieve stress, to give herself some space. She's going to start doing some yoga practice, and I really recommend that you create space for relaxation and stress relief. Like I go for a lot of massages, because what happens is when you stop drinking, the stress of being a drinker goes away. That does not mean that all of a sudden all of your problems will disappear. That doesn't mean that COVID is still not going to affect you, right? That doesn't mean that these things that happen in life, the election, all of the stuff that's going on in America, whatever it is, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be affected by that stuff. Of course you are. So creating space to really relax, really relieve stress, massage, it could be swimming, it could be saunas, it could be cold plunges. For the stress relief, it could be more meditation, more yoga, more weight training. It's really creating some space for you to just really relax and give yourself a break, and creating an hour a day where it's just your time. Totally cool. That's an awesome thing to do. And again, like I said, it's not about replacing alcohol. It's about doing good things for yourself once you're a non-drinker. It's a totally different way to think about things. So yeah, relaxation and stress relief, that's going to be huge. Another great thing that you can do, and it's kind of related to what we've just said, but it's to focus on health and fitness. This can be a really great foundation for people that have just kind of got on their journey of being a non-drinker, because what focusing on your health and fitness does is it creates better energy, it creates better clarity, it makes you feel more confident, it makes you feel courageous. All of the kind of downsides of being a heavy drinker can be very quickly addressed through making this a priority, through eating properly, getting your nutrition on point, maybe hitting some weight training, maybe doing some cardiovascular exercise, maybe doing some yoga, some stretching, some Pilates, that kind of stuff. And really making this a priority will just really help you kickstart your new life. And I think health and fitness is just such a good place to start things off. That's what I did. I was, as soon as I was a non-drinker, I'm back in the gym. I'm back consistently training again. I'm putting good fuel in my body again. And really just trying to, I hate the term recovery. I think it's a ridiculous term, but I was rebuilding. I was rebuilding myself. I was trying to get some forward momentum again. And health and fitness is a pretty easy place to start. And that might mean hiring a personal trainer, going to see a personal trainer twice a week, getting an exercise plan, watching some YouTube videos, and just making your health and your fitness a priority. That will be absolutely incredible. And finally, guys, the last thing that I want to talk about is creating more time. And for different people, that may mean different things. But what I really recommend is that if you plan your weeks or your days ahead of time, it's to literally go into your calendar and block off time just for you. What can usually happen when we drink is we don't create time for ourselves. We kind of live this double life where we're drinking and we think it's time for ourselves, but we're not actually doing something good for ourselves or for our future. We just kind of sat around poisoning ourselves and slowing us down and dulling our senses. We're not actually doing something very beneficial. So when you become a non-drinker, really create that time for you. Block off time in your calendar where you're going to spend time with yourself, looking after yourself, working on your goals. Maybe that means hanging out with relationships and things like that as well, and creating that space for that. But really put yourself first. We can spend our life just giving, being givers, doing things for other people. But it's okay to look after number one. Really create that time for you. And I think that if you combine these things together, you're going to be in a great position. Now, just bear with me because there's this last point. And the whole point of this video is do not wait. All of these things are great things to get you moving forward, right? And you could just choose one of these things and just do that. But the point of the matter is, when you become a non-drinker, don't wait. Because when you are all in, when you have fully reframed the way that you view alcohol, when you're all in, there is no need to wait. Because from the first day of being a non-drinker, it's the same as 2.5 years into your journey. There's no difference. Because when you're a non-drinker, you're a non-drinker. It's done. It's finished. And what I'm saying is that don't wait around for a magical moment. As soon as you have made the decision, just move forward. Go towards that better quality of life. And really just try to pick up as much momentum as you can in as many different areas as you can. Really go for it. Define the vision. Define what it is that you want. and just go full steam ahead. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for everybody that's watching this video right now. It's going to happen for you. I'm buzzing. Anyway, guys, if you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about the one thing I learned that got me to stop drinking forever, as well as the 30 benefits of not drinking. Thanks a lot.